Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is your cumulative Whackshack Notch update, spring, fall edition 2017. A lot has happened with this thing, and I know it's probably hard to keep track, so we're going to backdate, show a little bit of pictures, and go over some things, and hopefully refresh for anybody wanting to keep track, but has trouble keeping track because I'm not, always putting out update videos of this car just when major things happen and whatnot. So here we go. Alright, from the top, this is a roller that my buddy bought, and he tubed out the whole front end, and he built a 400 stroker, and then he put twin VS Racing 7665 turbos on, the Holly High Ram with the 417 Motorsports sandwich intercooler, and got it all ready to go and brought it over to the dyno, and we tuned it up to see how it would do. Now, as we were leaning into this thing, we noticed that it would peak off and then start falling off horsepower wise at higher RPM. He had a camshaft that he just purchased. It was a used one. The specs weren't great for turbo, but he was like, fuck it, it's cheap, I'll try it anyway. And one of my friends was like, that cam is probably going to tear up your rockers and valve tips and some other stuff, but it should work okay. So here are some of the first passes on pump gas, just walking it down the track to a high 9 on pump fuel. Here's one of the first hits on race gas, going 9.1, and then the next one 8.99, lifting at the 1,000-foot mark, so he was doing pretty good. Obviously, ended up changing a few things like the camshaft that was giving us problems with power falling off too early, and he also swapped the car to a power glide. Then ending the season with a best of an 857 at 157 miles an hour. He decided he would do, a little bit of upgrades for the next year. So he purchased a set of billet 7875 turbos from VS Racing so we could get some more top end power. And he started to make his own air-to-water intercooler setup also. And then he also tubed out more of the nose and put the turbos up front and put in 2 Civic radiators staggered and moved his exhaust location on top of all of that and started to upgrade the car to a 750 cage. So he had to cut some stuff out and start to re-weld in some more other things, and got a new Holly lower for his intake because he was getting rid of the sandwich, and then he buttoned up a bunch of the front end stuff as you can see here, and then he also, to offset some of the weight adding the cage to the car, he put fiberglass doors in but kept his power windows. Yes, the car has power windows. And then we did some shakedown hits on the dyno in between him finishing up paint and his exhaust rings, and then he also tossed it on a scale, and I think the car ended up dropping 50 to 75 pounds even with the cage upgrades. He also took this time to add a bunch of bracing to the rear end and move some bracketry so he could get a better angle on all the suspension voodoo and driveline angles that I don't understand or follow, but it definitely helped. And we threw it on the dyno the other day and made almost 1,000 horsepower, but we were running out of fuel. He's having some sort of fuel pump or delivery issue, which he thinks he has figured out, but we will update that in the next video if we did figure it out. But anyway, here's basically the first passes with the fresh combo and everything redone. Just the other day, he took the car out and set a new personal best. So here's the personal best pass, and we'll overview after. Alright, well here was the first hit, leaving on like 4 pounds and doing a soft ramp up to 20 pounds of boost, and it netted an 880 at nearly 161. And this was the in-car pass you saw. He left at about 6 or 7 pounds and then ramped it softly into about 20. The track wasn't there to hold all the power, but you can see by this 550 in the 8th at 130, it was really rolling, and 854 at 162 is flying out the back for 20 pounds. I think this car will continue to make power to probably 30 pounds of boost and tickle sevens this year, which is his ultimate goal for the car, obviously doing the 750 cert.